Hello, my name is Michael Schmitz. Today for my statics problem, I'm going to be presenting you about a pull-up bar. So some of the topics covered when solving for this pull-up bar, you have to do Newton's first law of equilibrium, free body diagrams, moments, and force vectors. So some of the learning objectives of this, so after students complete this problem, they should be able to understand about drawing free body diagrams. They'll be able to set up net equilibrium equations for summing the forces in the x and the y directions as well as moments, and they'll be able to solve for the unknown forces. So pull-up bar in the real world system, it kind of looks like this. So it's mounted on a door frame. At this point right around here, we're going to assume that this is a pin connection, so this force is acting in the x and the y direction. And at this point right here, we're going to assume that it acts like a roller, so there's going to be only forces acting in the x direction, and people are going to do pull-ups around on this pull-up bar. So for this problem, we're going to be assuming that there's a 180-pound guy doing pull-ups on this pull-up bar, so he's basically just going to be hanging there. And in this problem, we're going to neglect the weight of the pull-up bar because it doesn't weigh that much in comparison to the person, and we're going to assume that it's frictionless on this part right here. So to solve this problem, first off, you're going to want to draw a free body diagram. This is the model for the door frame. So the solid part is where it's solid across the top, and this lighter part is where the door is, where you walk through, and then there's solid studs on either side of the door. So at point A, that's your pin connection, so you're going to have forces in the x direction as well as in the y direction. And at point B, you're going to be having, since this acts like a roller, you're going to have forces in the x direction, only the x direction, but you're also going to have the weight, which is pulling down. So to go about solving this, you're going to want to set up your some of the force in the y equation first to solve for a y. That's pretty easy since there's only two unknowns, or two variables, which are weight and ay. So you can solve for ay, which is about 180 pounds. Next, you're going to want to solve for the net moment equations, and you can either solve this around point A or point B. I chose to do it around point B. You can do it around point A. It's basically the same thing. And since you solved for ay in the previous part, this should be easy to solve for ax. And remember, when you do your sum of the moments, you need to multiply the force by the distance, and then you're going to get ax to be about 90 pounds. Next, you want to solve for bx. You can do this with the sum of the forces in the x direction equation, and it looks something like that. Then you can solve for bx, which is about 90 pounds. So in order to fully understand this problem, students must be able to abstract the problem into a free body diagram, solve the net force equations, and recognize when there is a moment, because a lot of students would have stopped right here after your sum of the forces in the y direction, and they would have not gone on a moment. But you need to recognize that there is a moment, or that the forces aren't balanced in the moment, so this part right here is not equal to 0, so you need to solve for some more stuff. So final thoughts on this problem: I think it would be a good in-class example or practice problem. This covers a lot of topics, including equilibrium forces and moments, as well as free body diagrams. I think this problem would go best with lecture 11. Thank you.